Is this thing on? Let's see. Wait a minute. How does it know? So here they have the worshiping the prophet. Worship the prophet. Worship the prophet. He is the one. He's a 90-year-old man. Worship the prophet. Worship the prophet. So this guy, if your house burned down and your whole city burned down, then this guy will bring hope. See, I'm God's mouthpiece. And so I come to bring hope. Isn't that weird? The church is so weird. The church is so weird. What would him coming to your burned down city have to do with anything in a million years? He brings words of comfort. He brings words. That's it, right? That pretty much sums up the Mormon prophets. All we can give you is words. And yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. So here he is grabbing a girl by her face, which is kind of creepy in itself. But anyway, he's so creepy. And here's the thing. So you have all these people in this area, and they're serving missions, they're going to the temple, they're serving in callings. The least that a prophet could do, or God, the least that God could do, is to prevent it. And the fires were done by the government anyway. So why wouldn't the prophet get revelation from God? Why is the Mormon God so weak? If you just think about it, like, Mormons give so much money and time. They give their whole lives, but they're no different than anybody else as far as like avoiding tragedies and stuff like that. So where is the Mormon God? He's nowhere. There's no discernment. There's no seership. There is no revelation. This is the perfect example, because if there was a God, if there was seers, then the bishops and stake presidents would have been warned by God. Think about it. Supposedly you have like 1,000 men of God. You have like supposedly you have all these bishops and stake presidents who have discernment and who communicate with God. God is talking with them. And they will tell you that. Bishops will tell you, I've talked with God. Is God more concerned about your calling in the primary than he is about your house burning down? Because apparently, and see, you got to realize the contradictions in religion in general. And then you have to realize the contradictions in the church. Apparently, God talks to bishops a lot about callings. And he talks to the prophet a lot about callings. But when it comes to stuff that actually matters in your life, like your health and your your money and your time and your health, he doesn't have anything to say to your bishop or to the prophets. The prophet coming after the disaster doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. You are supposed to feel guilty if you feel that way. Like if the prophet comes and says, you know what, you just need the Holy Ghost, and you have everything you need. There's a quote in here. His focus was these are challenges. Keeping the commandments and knowing that God's in charge, and all will be well in the long run. Those are the words of a manipulative person, and a person who he has words he can say that he can just repeat over and over and over again. That's the thing about the prophets. They can just repeat the same thing over and over again. They don't actually have to do anything to help you. They don't actually have to warn you about something bad that's going to happen in your life. They don't actually have to do anything. All they have to say is keep the commandments. That's all Nelson has to do. He has the easiest job in the world. He has a manipulative job. But that's all he has to do is just say, well, keep the commandments. Really? So you're going to come to... It's so bad. It's the gaslighting and the victim blaming is so bad. It's like these people just lost. It's bad enough if you lose your house. So your house burns down. But to come to a community and to have your focus be keeping the commandments? What the fuck? What the fuck is even going on? Like, keep the commandments? Like, okay. Our house is just burned down. Like, we don't have a place to live. We're really depressed. We have to move in with family, whatever, and it's like, well, the people are acting just like the Lord would act were he here. They are challenges, but with faith, keeping the commandments and knowing that God's in charge, all will be well in the long run. We care about you. We care for you. We love you. We have come to minister unto you. We want to bring you hope. I know the Lord has been guiding you in your efforts to recover and move forward in faith. It's just really bad. Just really bad, man. They can't see anything. They can't see into the future. There's no seership. There's no discernment. There's no revelation. There is no revelation in the church. If you can, the Paradise City is a perfect lesson that there's no revelation. There's no such thing as revelation in the church. You have hundreds of men who have spent their whole lives praying, reading the scriptures, going to the temple, and not one of them had a vision. Not one of them in that city was warned by God, was told by God. But God will tell them who to call in a word calling. There's no revelation. And in your mind, we've been trained to think, well, God wanted it to happen. We've been trained to think, well, if something bad happened and nobody knew about it, it was meant to happen. See, so it's it, but that's fine as long as you say God isn't going to work the way He has worked in previous times in any way or any capacity. I mean, He warned Lehi. That was just one person, right? To get out of. And it's just sad because they really can't. Here's the thing, they really can't help victims. You know, and then Nelson went on to say, "Well, we're gonna have a new temple in Yuba City." Okay. I mean, these people were devastated. The church wasn't there to help them. The prophets, all they have is words. And if you look at every church news from like the past year or whatever, it's just hero worship. Every church news has the prophet on it. Like, this guy will bring you hope. This guy will make you happy. Listen to his words. And it's like, it's such a small way to look at the world. And then when he dies, then it'll just be the next prophet all the time. It's like, follow the prophet. He's leading you. He's on the boat. There's no boat. Is he going? What did he do to Sam Young? He didn't go and talk to Sam Young. Is he talking about child abuse in the church? Is he talking about wife abuse in the church? Is he talking about MTC presidents abusing women? He's not here to help you if you're a victim. If you're rich and if you're comfortable in the church, yeah, we like President Nelson. We're a group. We're this unified group. But it's just messed up, man. Anyway, so what's going on? So there's going to be a temple in Rome. All right, so let's see. Dang, man, dang. So, a lot of stuff has been going on. Shoot. All right. I don't know if this is necessary. You can have. So what do we do about the church? I don't know. It's not true. The church isn't true. Joseph Smith was weird. Joseph Smith was a treasure digger. And President Nelson doesn't know the history of the church. And an interesting thing that happened when he was young was his dad drank alcohol and he broke his dad's beer bottles. So that kind of shows you the mentality of the church in general and President Nelson, you know. Well, if you don't like if you think what someone's doing is wrong and immoral, then you take action and you change their lives.